Good morning. This is July 4th, and happy 4th of July. Happy 250th. So I wanted to make a couple changes. Number one, what I originally was going to do as far as video, whenever the next video was going to be, I'm going to have to take some time on it. It's going to be longer than I want. It's probably going to be multiple videos. And I kind of discovered this as I started to dig in to what I looked at talking about. And I also picked up a book that there were some pages of and some photos that I had. The book's called Good Boundaries and Goodbyes, I think. And I wanted to talk or read that book and then have some, I guess, better structure for the process. Not because I agree with the book. Actually, there's some things in the pages that I did read that I had saved that I didn't necessarily agree with, but I want to make sure that I'm coming from a good place and doing my due diligence. So, and yeah, that's where I'm going. So I also don't want to do it in a way where I end up taking an hour to explain something that could have taken 30 minutes. That's an inefficiency on my part, and I want to be better about that. So that's where that's headed. So in the meantime, consider this like a filler episode that I wanted to address some of the, I guess, some interesting things in Matthew chapter 5. So the Beatitudes, right? Would be the first 8 verses. And I think that first off, they're great. But a thought that I had a while ago, and I don't know if this is original, if you've ever heard it or not, was the Beatitudes. You have the Beatitudes, which is blessed be, and then the Beatitudes, which I guess when I started reading to do this little filler episode, could apply to also the other portion of Matthew chapter 5. You know, if you have been told not, thou shalt not murder, but if you murder in your heart, right? When I say Beatitude, is the be not afraid. That's the original thought that I had with it. So I'm going to end up doing both today. This is going to be not nearly as long as last time, and that's good. I think my target range is somewhere between 15 and 30 minutes. I think that's where everybody's going to get the most value out of it. And if that means I break things up into multiple videos, cool. So start with Matthew chapter 5. We're going to do verses 1 through 12. So, but when he saw the crowds, he went up on a mountain. And when he was seated, his taught ones came to him. And having opened his mouth, he was teaching them, saying, Blessed are the poor in spirit, because theirs is the reign of the heavens. Blessed are those who mourn, because they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, because they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, because they shall be filled. Blessed are the compassionate, because they shall obtain compassion. Blessed are the clean in heart, because they shall see Elohim. Blessed are the peacemakers, because they shall be called sons of Elohim. Blessed are those persecuted for righteousness' sake, because theirs is the reign of the heavens. Blessed are you when they reproach and persecute you and falsely say every wicked word against you for my sake. Rejoice and be glad, because your reward in the heavens is great. For in this way they persecuted the prophets who were before you. You are the salt of the earth, but if the salt becomes tasteless, how shall it be seasoned? For it is no longer of any use, but shall be thrown out and to be trodden down by men. Okay, I'm going to stop there, but I'm going to end up reading almost all of chapter 5 today. So, again, Beatitudes, and basically the ways that you're blessed, and that's blessing and suffering. So Blessed are those who mourn, because they shall be comforted. And I can think of the times, we talk about grief and like heartbreak and things like that. And honestly, thank God, because this thing's hot. I have to choose between shade and trapping a tropical climate in my scalp. Thank God for heartbreak. And not because it's fun or anything like that, but anything that draws him closer to you is ultimately a good thing. And it doesn't matter who it is. You can be heartbroken in somebody's death, in moving away, in a lot of different things. So, yeah, thank God for that. And he does answer prayer, and he is near the brokenhearted. So, he does not waste what we waste. We waste a lot of time, and we waste in general everything, because that's just what we do. We're human. There was a time, very briefly, in human existence where we didn't waste anything, and that was when Adam and Eve were in the garden with the Father. So, such is life. Anyway, the Beatitudes, the original ones I was thinking of, the Be Not Afraids. So I'm going to start with 1 Peter chapter 5. And I am a biblical hero, far from a saint. I'm a prodigal son. Good song. Okay. 1 Peter chapter 5, verses 6 through 7. Humble yourselves then under the mighty hand of Elohim, so that he exalts you in due time, casting all your worry upon him, for he is concerned about you. Next one is going to be Philippians chapter 4. Okay. What do I have? I think 6 and 7. Yeah. Do not worry at all, but in every matter, by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to Elohim, and the peace of Elohim, which surpasses all understanding, shall guard your hearts and minds through Messiah Yeshua. So basically, why I'm tying those two together is anxiety is not from God. There is a fear of the Lord. That is one thing. And I could talk about that, but honestly, I'd rather point everybody towards a book that I'm almost done reading, and honestly has helped reshape my understanding of godly fear. And that would be The Awe of God by John Bevere. So I will put that in the description. I highly recommend everyone reads that book, because it is phenomenal and called me out in ways that I needed. But yeah. Okay, next we're going to go through Deuteronomy 31, verse 6. And you are certainly encouraged to flip along with me, because as I said in I think my first or second video, I am a dude on the internet. I'm not a pastor or anything. So 31 verse 6. Be strong and courageous. Do not fear nor be afraid of them, for it is Yahweh your Elohim who is going with you. He does not fail you nor forsake you. Joshua chapter 1, verses 1 through 9. Verse 9 is most commonly referenced, but you really need the context for. And it came to be after the death of Moshe, the servant of Yahweh, that Yahweh spoke to Joshua, son of Nun, the assistant of Moses, Moshe, saying, Moses, my servant, is dead. So now arise, pass over this Jordan, you and all this people, to the land which I am giving to them, to the children of Israel. Every place on which the sole of your foot treads, I have given you, as I spoke to Moses. From the wilderness and this Lebanon, even as far as the great river, the river Euphrates, all the land of the Hittites, and to the great sea, toward the going down of the sun, is your border. No man is going to stand before you all the days of your life. As I was with Moses, so I am with you. I do not fail you nor forsake you. Be strong and courageous, for you are to let this people inherit the land which I swore to their fathers to give them. Only be strong and very courageous, to guard to do according to all the Torah which Moses my servant commanded you. Do not turn from it left or right or left, so that you act wisely wherever you go. Do not let this book of the Torah depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate on it day and night, so that you guard to do according to all that is written in it. For then you shall make your way prosperous and act wisely. Verse 9. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, nor be discouraged, for Yahweh your Elohim is with you wherever you go. Okay. I'm going to deviate a little bit because I have a written note next to that from a while ago to look at Deuteronomy 28. So anyway, Joshua chapter 1, verses 1 through 9 is talking to the people of Israel after the previous generation, which was wicked in the eyes of the Lord, passed away, including Moses. They could not possess the land until they had all passed away, and the next generation was brought up and set apart, made holy, right? So, 28 verse 1, and it shall be, if you diligently obey the voice of Yahweh your Elohim, to guard all of his commandments, which I command you today, that Yahweh your Elohim shall set you high above all the nations of the earth. Oh goodness, I have another note. I'm doing it. See what I mean about getting distracted? Luke chapter 1 verse 6. And they were both righteous before Elohim, blamelessly walking in all the commands and righteousnesses of Yahweh. Okay. All right. Basically, the original point of my reading those two verses, Deuteronomy 31 and Joshua 1, you know what? Screw it. We're going to Isaiah because I have Isaiah 41. I'm trying to respect your time too in this. I do appreciate everybody that watches, and I mean everybody that watches. So thank you very much, but it is not for me. Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not look around, for I am your Elohim. I shall fortify you. I shall also help you. I shall also uphold you with the right hand of my righteousness. The point of me reading those original three verses that I had written down was we already talked about anxiety. Now we talk about fear and how God will fight with you. Now the point of me talking about Joshua chapter 1 verses 1 through 9 is to guard to do his commandments, walk in his steps. So that was my point with that. Next we're going to go to 1 John chapter 4, verse 18. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear, because fear holds punishment, and he who fears has not been made perfect in love. Where do we see love a lot? Let's go to 1 Corinthians. Right? Yeah. 1 Corinthians chapter 3. Right? I'm going to end up clipping this. I write that down wrong? Aha, 13. I can either not write or not read, or both. Love is patient, is kind. Love does not envy. Love does not boast, is not puffed up, does not behave indecently, does not seek its own, is not provoked, reckons not the evil, does not rejoice over the unrighteousness, but rejoices in the truth. It covers all, believes all, expects all, endures all. Love never fails. So, differentiating between love and fear. Read chapter 4, verse 18 again. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear, because fear holds punishment, and he who fears has not been made perfect in love. For clarity, we're not talking about fear of the Lord. That's a different thing. We're talking about an earthly fear. So, very worldly fear. So, we're going to go to, actually that ties into the next part, which is Proverbs chapter 29, I think verse 35. No, it's not 35. 25. The fear of man brings a snare, but whoever trusts in Yahweh is set on high. So we're differentiating again between the fear of man and the fear of God. And the fear of God is implicitly trust in God. I believe the next one's in the Psalms. Psalms chapter 56. Verses 3 through 4. Actually, I'm reading the first couple too. Show me favor, O Elohim, for man would swallow me up. Fighting all day long, he oppresses me. My enemies would swallow me up all day long, for many are fighting against me, O Most High. In the day I am afraid, I trust in you. In Elohim, whose word I praise. In Elohim I have trusted, I do not fear. What could flesh do to me? So again, in the last couple lines of verse 4, in Elohim I have trusted, I do not fear. What could flesh do to me? Trust in the Lord is implicitly tied to fear of the Lord. Fear of man is separate. So when we are told do not be afraid, that is not applicable to fear of God. And I'm going to read for this last portion, Matthew chapter 5 again, for the rest of the other Beatitudes, which, I feel kind of clever, but I'm probably not the first one to ever make that connection. And there's nothing really all that clever about me. You heard it said to those of old, you shall not murder, and whoever murders shall be liable to judgment. But I say to you that whoever is wroth with his brother without a cause shall be liable to judgment. And whoever says to his brother, Raca, shall be liable to the Sanhedrin. But whoever says, you fool, shall be liable to the fires of Gehenna. If then you bring your gift to the slaughter place, and there remember that your brother holds whatever against you, leave your gift there before the slaughter place and go. First make peace with your brother, then come back and offer your gift. Be well-minded with your opponent promptly while you are on the way with him, lest your opponent deliver you to the judge, and the judge to the officer, and you be thrown in prison. Truly I say to you, you shall by no means get out of there until you have paid the last quadrans. You heard that it was said to those of old, you shall not commit adultery. But I say to you that everyone looking at a woman to lust for her has already committed adultery with her in his heart. And if your right eye causes you to stumble, pluck it out and throw it away from you. For it is better for you that one of your members perish than for your entire body to be thrown into Gehenna. And if your right hand causes you to stumble, cut it off and throw it away from you. For it is better for you that one of your members perish than for your entire body to be thrown into Gehenna. And I'm going to pause there for a little bit. this is not metaphorical. It can be if you change, your heart condition changes, but Jesus is being very literal. That's how serious sin is. So, yeah, that's my little note there. And it has been said, whoever puts away his wife, let him give her a certificate of divorce. But I say to you that whoever puts away his wife, except for the matter of whoring, makes her commit adultery, and whoever marries a woman who has been put away commits adultery. Again, you heard that it was said to those of old, you shall not swear falsely, but shall perform your oaths to Yahweh. But I say to you, do not swear vainly at all, whether by the heaven, because it is Elohim's throne, nor the earth, for it is his footstool, nor by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great sovereign, nor swear by your head, because you are not able to make one hair white or black. But yet let your word be yes, and your no be no. And what goes beyond these is from the wicked one. You heard that it was said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But I say to you, do not resist the wicked. But whoever slaps you on your right cheek, turn the other to him also. And he who wishes to sue you and take away your inner garment, let him have your outer garment as well. And whoever compels you to go 1 mile, go with him 2. Give to him who asks of you, and from him who wishes to borrow from you, do not turn away. You heard that it was said, you shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I say to you, love your enemies, bless those cursing you, do good to those hating you, and pray for those insulting you and persecuting you, so that you become sons of your Father in the heavens, because he makes his sun rise on the wicked and on the good, and sends rain on the righteous and on the unrighteous. For if you love those loving you, what reward have you? Are the tax collectors not doing the same too? And if you greet your brothers only, what do you do more than others? Are the tax collectors not doing so too? Therefore be perfect, as your Father in the heavens is perfect. Now these last couple verses they say tax collectors. That's because in that time, that was basically your target demographic for, a bad person, right? So that could literally be anybody. So, yeah, that's my little talk today. Oh, I lied. John chapter 5, because I wanted to tie something into. Because back to, do you want to be healed? John chapter 5, verse 6. When Yeshua saw him lying there, and knowing that he had already been a long time, he said to him, do you wish to become well? The sick man answered him, Master, I have no man to put me into the pool when the water is stirred, but while I am coming, another steps down before me. Yeshua said to him, rise, take up your bed, and walk. Yeah, the reason I wanted to talk about that is the Beatitudes and the Beatitudes that I just mentioned are additional tools for you, for me, for anybody, to take up your bed and walk. So, like I said, there's an accountability portion to this. Do you want to be healed? Take up your bed and walk. So, I hope that was fruitful, and please, everybody, enjoy the rest of their day. I'm going to go to my buddy's farm, and I'm going to set up a little field kitchen and cook burgers out in the heat, bring a lot of water, and yeah, God bless everybody. I'm sincerely grateful for each and every one of you. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. So, praise God.